welcome to part 2 on the 1970 Honda CB350. Last video we got this thing back home. I think I paid $450 for it, and nothing worked on it. We fixed the ignition over here. The key was all janky, and the lady before me took it to a locksmith, and I guess they messed it up somehow, but I got it working, and right now it works good. Goes through all the positions. So the bike turns on, everything lights up except for the blinkers, we found out. So headlight works, both high and low. Neutral light works, gauges both work, and everything seems to be working great. The bike starts up. We cleaned out both carburetors last video. These were really rough on the inside, so we soaked those in the ultrasonic cleaner for about 30 minutes each, and they cleaned up really well. And we actually started it up for the first time last video. Took a little while to get started, but once it started, it fired up about first kick every time after that. We also found that this cylinder was not sparking when we first got it, so we cleaned the points over here. And the right side point, which is right here, was a little dirty, so we cleaned that out with some sandpaper and some brake cleaner, and that fixed that problem. So now it sparks. We've got a couple more things to do today on this thing. We've got to get a new battery for it. The battery goes underneath the seat. Let's see if I can show you guys. The one I was using was from the Suzuki LT Z400, so it didn't really fit in there. So we gotta get a battery for it. The one that came with it was dead, even though she said it was new. So that's a bummer. Probably gonna have to spend around $100 for a battery for this thing, because the battery is pretty big. We also fixed this wire last video. This was broken off. So we gotta get a new battery for it. We've got to attach the petcock to the tank. The tank came with a petcock that was down here, and the one that came with it wasn't correct. It was missing the attachment for the tank. So we gotta get that hooked up, and then there's a line that goes from here to there to connect the two sides of the tank. So we gotta fit that with a new gas line. And then the petcock we bought off of eBay. Looks like the original one. Here's the original one right here. You can see it's a little crunched up in there. This filter was pretty wrecked, and I'm guessing the lines are all hardened. Yep. So we got a new one right here. Exact same thing. This one has two gas flow areas where gas comes out of both. So this one's to the right, this one's to the left, I believe, for the carburetors. So that's great. We'll install that. This is the part we were missing up here, where it twists onto the tank. So that must have been cut off or something. But yeah, that was missing. And the tank doesn't really have too much rust in it. Take a look at the tank here. So I think it was already cleaned out at one point, which is nice, because that saves me a lot of time. See, it's really not too bad in there. If you can look in there. And that's pretty clean in there. So that's good. I don't even think we have to clean out the tank today. We really just have to install that petcock. And then, after we do that, I want to fix the blinkers, get those working. So I'm guessing wiring inside the headlight is messed up, or it could be the bulbs in the blinkers. But those look good. So I'm guessing the wire right here goes into the headlight. So it's either in the headlight is a problem, or at the switch, which that could be the case. So we'll take a look at the switch, headlight, and get that all figured out. But other than those things, it really doesn't need too much more work. We're obviously going to clean it up and try to buff out that tank, make it look nice, and then we'll take it for the first ride. We actually have my sister's party tonight, so we're taking this thing to my parents, and then Jade will be there too, so maybe she'll hop on the back and go for a ride. So stay tuned, should be a pretty fun video. Alright, we got the gas tank sitting here. Forgot we also have to strip off that blue paint on it. It's really supposed to be red and white, not red, white, and blue. But we might leave it for the time being, because I don't really want to strip off the white paint as well. So we might have to take our time with that and get off the blue. Maybe once the bike is all cleaned up and stuff. But we're going to get the petcock on now. Here's the place for the petcock. We're going to clean that off with some brake cleaner first, just so those threads get cleaned up. You can see all the gunk that's coming off. We'll see if the brake cleaner takes out that blue paint. It looks like it might. So, looks like the blue paint isn't on there too tight. So we might just strip the blue paint off of there right now. Let's see. And that white paint should not come off with brake cleaner. Should be a little stronger than that, I would think. So at least we know we can get the blue paint off with a little brake cleaner. So we'll work at that, probably like a Scotch-Brite pad, some brake cleaner. That blue paint will come right off. Here's the new petcock right here. Open that guy up. This I think was $16. It's not super cheap. Actually, I think I bought this on Amazon. The shipping was like 2-day shipping, so can't really beat that. Looks like this just goes on like this. There. Oh, it's got a seal on there. Should be fine. Alright, that's on there pretty tight. We're going to get the cross section of the gas tank hooked up here. So we'll put one end on and then we'll put the other end on once we get the tank fitted on the bike. Alright, we got the gas tank back on the bike. Petcock's looking pretty good. Let's fill up the tank with a little gas and see if that petcock holds gas here. I'm looking for leaks up here too. No leaking yet, so that's good. Huh. Must need more gas in there. There we go. See, it's coming out of the one. It's coming out of this one. Let's see if I plug up that one. What happened? There we go. Alright, it's coming out of both now. Alright, let's get some gas lines hooked up to that. Oh yeah, it's working perfectly. It's awesome. Looks like that's fixed. We might get some clamps around here just so that those don't fall off, but so far so good. Alright, last video we installed this new brake lever The other one was broken off. But as you can see, when you pull it in, it just stays like that. So the brake permanently is on when you pull it in. We want that to spring back like that. So we gotta go down here and figure out if it's the wire that's preventing it from springing back or this lever right here. So what we're gonna do is take off the cable and lube that up and see if that fixes our problem. I'm thinking it is because this in here looks a little rusty, so I'm guessing if we get a little oil down there, that'll loosen it right up. Alright, so we gotta get this wire out of here and then we'll see if this springs back. If this springs back, we know it's the cable. Loosen that guy up. It's off of here now. There we go. Yeah, see? That sprung right back. So it's the cable locking things up, because that's working perfectly. So let's get this cable out of here. Looks like it just... yeah, you just need this one to... this one needs to come off. Actually, we probably can just leave it in and put oil on it from the top. There's that. Then we'll put some oil directly down there. Then we'll go from the bottom, add some more oil. Alright, cable's all lubed up. Get this hooked back up. See how it's springing back now? That's fixed. Alright, we've got the jumper hooked up to it. You can see the headlight works, but when we click the blinker on, nothing happens for the blinkers. So the rear don't work and the front don't work. So something's going on there. We're gonna look at the switch first and see if that's the problem. We'll quick mess around with these first. Maybe it's just corroded in there, not sure, but the horn does work. So that's cool. So in here is a switch. You can see right there it makes contact. There it makes contact. And in the middle. So that should be on, that should be on. That should be off. On, off, on. So we're gonna spray in there with a little WD-40, lube that up a little bit. See if we can get something to happen here. Just work that. It looks like it's the orange wire and the black wire. So if we go on the headlight, we know that the orange wire is the one to look for. Nope. So I think it's inside the headlight. We'll have to find out which wire is going to the blinker and then diagnose and see what's causing the problem. Alright, so I found the issue. I had to take off the gas tank to get to it, but this gray wire right here that goes to the blinker relay, this I saw was not getting 12 volts. It was to this end of the wire, but it wasn't to this end of the wire. So I followed that all the way up to here, and it goes into this gray wire right here, which goes up to the switch. This wasn't getting 12 volts to here, so I knew there was a break in the system along this red wire right here, and I ended up replacing this gray wire that went from here all the way up to there with this red wire. It used to be the gray wire, but there was like a break in here because at one end of the wire you got 12 volts, but at the other end you didn't. So I just replaced the whole wire, and now we've got blinkers. So I'll turn on the battery and you guys can see the blinkers. This bulb is burnt out in here, but all the other ones work. So as you can see, all the blinkers work. So that's working perfectly. There's off, and there's the other blinker. So we just have to replace the bulb in this one right here. Alright, time for an oil change. The oil looked pretty clear, but there wasn't much of it in there. It calls for 2 liters, it says right on the cap, of 10W40, so that's what we're going to use. The bolt is down beneath the engine, right here. Looks like it's got it, I think. See it drain out of there. You can see it's pretty black. The top stuff was light colored, so I wonder if someone just topped it off with fresh oil. That's why it looked new when I checked it. There's the big drain plug for it. Thing's massive. Well, we'll let that drain, and then we'll fill it up with 2 quarts of fresh oil. Alright, oil all drained. As you can see, pretty dark. It's a good thing we're changing it. Definitely was not fresh oil in there. 2 quarts of oil going in. 10W40. And we're right at the top. Perfect. Right, here's the light bulb that was burnt out. Let's get that out of there. As you can see, right there, that wire is cut. So that bulb is burnt out. We'll go to the hardware store, see if we can find that bulb, and then we will replace that. Alright, here's the old one. Just went to the hardware store, picked up some new ones. Let's see if these fit. Should. Alright, let's see if that lights up. Alright, that looks like it's fixed. On to the next part. A little brake cleaner, Scotch-Brite pad. Alright, there's the final look of the tank. All the blue stripped off, back to the original color. Looking pretty good. And the other side. All stripped off. That took me about 30 minutes to do. It's not too bad, definitely worth it. It's nice to have the original look back. made it out to my parents, here with Minty Jade. Hello, Jade. She hasn't been in the video in a long time. You want to film me?
Sure. I'd rather film
I've got to pump up the front tire. A bit flat. We're good to go.
Okay.
So, first ride on this thing, after we repaired everything on it. Electric start works great. Everything's been pretty perfect on this thing. I have not ridden this thing yet, so I don't know if it's gonna move. But we will see. What do you think, Jade?
Raining.
Yeah, sprinkling a little bit. What do you think? Do you like it?
Yeah.
Well, you want to sit on it? We'll wheel it back a little bit. But here,
Okay.
hold this for a sec. How much do you think I paid for it?
Joe, it's raining.
Yeah.
I don't know, how much did you pay for it?
Take a guess.
Oh, $2,500. Did I guess right?
No.
Oh.
$450.
Wow. What a bargain.
Let's see. Cool.
Oh yeah.
Look at the girl on the bike. Her sweatshirt says girl on it. What a cool thing.
What a cool thing, yeah.
Alright, so I'm gonna go up and down the road quick if you want to film me, and then I'll throw the GoPro on and probably take it around the block. It is starting to sprinkle, so of course, right when we pull out the camera, it always happens. We'll start her up here. Just hit the start button. Look at that. Starts right up. Is the gas on here? That one's running. That one's running. Perfect. Cool. One thing I did notice is that the steering's a little stiff on it, so hopefully when we're riding it, it'll loosen up a bit. But it was definitely pretty stiff. Everything works though, blinkers work, lights work, high, low. Alright, so far so good. First little ride on it. Not bad. I got up to like third gear, but it's raining too much. Alright, here we go. Turn on the key. Stopped raining finally. It's really nice this bike has electric start too. Just flick of the thumb and you're good to go. Let her warm up for a little bit. Roll's pretty smooth. It's just the handlebars feel really narrow. I'd like them a little bit wider, Just feels like really heavy in the front end. But maybe that's just how this bike was meant to ride. Not too sure. But it's running really good. Idling perfect. Everything seems pretty good like that. Our new petcock isn't leaking. Gas lines are not leaking. Everything's good. We'll go down this way first. Going 20 miles an hour right here. Almost 40 now. It's pretty smooth. There's 60. There we go. Very comfortable ride. Woohoo! It's awesome this bike runs now. Really happy with how it turned out. Brakes work great. Can't really see anything. We'll go straight to the dead end. Oh, they fixed the road right here. It used to be a big indent. Starting to sprinkle again. Running great though. Couldn't be better. Oh, gravel. Shifts really smoothly. Hit 70 right there. Woo! Second gear. Woo! 75, baby. That was like fourth gear. Pretty fun bike. Well, first official ride done. Bike's running great. We got up to 70 miles an hour. or 75 I should say, in like 4th gear. It was pretty good. I'd give it full go, but there's a little bump right there that you hit before you can get up to like 90 or something. I don't know how fast this bike goes, but it's running great. Idles all day long. Like I said before, the lights work, everything is working on it great. Tack and the speedo both work, so it's just a really nice bike. Hope you guys enjoyed the video of getting this bike back running. Took a little bit of work, but it wasn't too bad. And I think we've got a total of like maybe 600 bucks into it. So nice $600 bike. Pretty sweet. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Stay tuned for the next video. And until next time, we are out.